So we get to create 2 3/3s this way if they block. If they don't, we get to create 2 6/6s. All right, we get to create 2 6/6s. Yeah, okay, that was the best thing that could have happened. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have some fun playing Trample Tribal today. So we get to play with Godzilla, King of the Monsters, the 5 mana cost, 7/3 trample. Lethal damage dealt to creatures you control is determined by their power rather than their toughness. So I can only really slot in 2 copies into this deck because I just don't think that it's not really easy to build around this right now unless you dive into Naya, and Naya doesn't have the land base to really do very well. It doesn't have the tricolor lands for Naya right now, so I decided to go ahead and go more for the trample aspect on this deck. If you guys want to see one that's built completely around this mechanic, we're definitely going to do that at some point, but I wanted to build around the other side of it here as well, which is just trample. So whenever one or more creatures you control with trample deal combat damage to a player, create an XX green dinosaur beast creature token with trample, where X is the amount of damage those creatures dealt to that player. So basically, typically a 5 mana do nothing, like just sits on the battlefield, isn't very good. This one though, if we have a board full of tramplers, basically what this does is we get to swing in with our board, even if they have blockers and we're going to trade off poorly. As long as we get in for like 3 or 4 points of damage, we get to create another 4/4 dinosaur creature with trample, and then we get to have our 6/6 there as well. So it's worthwhile to trade in even sometimes unfavorably, because we get to create all of a sudden is favorable for us. We get to create big things, and so what we're trying to do basically is play a bunch of cheaper things that have trample, like Crunch Wrangler, which 2/1 with trample. It does work with Godzilla, so that's one good thing. It's actually basically our only card that works well with Godzilla in the deck. But whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter onto Crunch Wrangler. This is one of the best cards to mutate onto, which is like our Gem Razor, our Destroya, give it flying, make it a 4/4, and all of a sudden, whenever we play our big things later game, we still get to give our our flying Destroya, or Evercool Phoenix, gets to actually change out, and sorry, it gets to become a trampler as well, which works with our Quartz Crasher. We also get Ram Through, which says whenever target creature target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control, if the creature you control has trample, excess damage is dealt to that creature controller instead. Insane in this deck. I'm actually very, very impressed with it. It makes it, you can just do really busted things. The other really cool things is all of our cards that get counters onto them, the counters stay onto our mutate creatures. So we're not really playing heavily into the mutate format, but with Gem Razor, with our flying trampler, it's going to be worthwhile, because we can get a Stonecoil Serpent onto the battlefield with like 6 tokens late game. Also make it a 10/10 with trampling, whatever we can swing in. Voracious Hydra, same type of thing. There's some really busted things you can do with this. The one thing we have to be worried about is that Heartless Act actually does kind of counter Voracious Hydra, because if you put 3 counters onto it and then you go to fight something, if they have Heartless Act, they can remove those 3 counters, and then you fight and it'll die. But what you can do is you can just double up the counters. Again, Heartless Act kind of stops that as well, because they can remove the counters before you double them. So a little bit annoying, but Voracious Hydra is really powerful still. We get to put a lot of counters onto it. It's good removal, and we can mutate it to become even bigger. So that's basically the deck. We have 2 copies of Evercleave, do big things. Domri works really well with Godzilla, basically giving all of our creatures +1/+0. With Godzilla, all of our creatures get +1/+1 instead, because all of a sudden our lethal damage on toughness is better. So that's like the main combo. We're going to be building a deck around that, like I said, maybe a little bit later, but right now we're just going to jump into the gameplay, see how this does for us, and wish me luck. All right, I'm trying this out in ranked, in Mythic, so we'll see how this does. I guess we keep this. We have our Girl Spellbreaker, we have a really awesome Ram Through, and then Godzilla is in our hand, so I mean, we're going to keep a Godzilla hand. Also today, if you guys want to check out MTG Assistant, down the link below. If you guys get to the top of the ladder this month, you get a $500 cash prize. Definitely check them out. MTG Assistant has been sweet. It's definitely worth downloading. It's not in the way ever. All it is just awesomeness. All right, probably gonna take the Girl Spellbreaker here. They could take Godzilla. Voracious Hydra works a little bit awkwardly with Godzilla, actually, because it has 1 more toughness, and so we actually lose a little bit of toughness with it, but Voracious Hydra is just so good, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna do it. Ram Through is really good. If I was them, I would definitely take the Gruul Spellbreaker. It's definitely the better card here. We are gonna bring out Voracious Hydra and put 2 counters onto it. We need to start getting a board state at least. Double the number of counters. Now we have a 2/3. A 3-mana 2/3, not very good at all, but because it has trample, we can do a few more things. All right, let's go ahead and attack in. See if they want to block. They do block. Oh, how kind of them to let us kill you. All right. Our creature, okay, kill them. It is instant speed. I love that. So we get to kill their stuff, pass the turn. Best card would be just land here for... Actually, I want to go for Godzilla. If we can get out on a 7/7, that'll be pretty sweet. Heartless Act, remove some counters. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, they didn't know how to use it. Okay, they only removed 1. Yes. All right. Help Collector. Oh, that's really awkward. I really wanted to get out the other Voracious Hydra. Maybe I should have just put counters onto it. But it is really good removal in our deck, and they're going to be holding back because of it. Hunted Nightmare. All right, sweet. Yeah, we're definitely putting that onto the Pelt Collector. Now we're just going to run this out. We have some really big features coming up. Pelt Collector grows a little bit. We'll double the counters here. We have a 4/5. No attacks past the turn. So I'm actually expecting them to attack in. If they do, we just let it go through and hopefully hit a land. Now we're going to put a little bit more pressure, or more towards the Quartz Crasher. You gotta be kidding me. All right, we have 42% chance to hit lands each of these turns, and we just have not been hitting them. This has been brutal. No reach. You know what? Let's go ahead and swing in with Pelt Collector. It has Death Touch. If they want to trade off with the Hunted Nightmare, I'm totally fine with that. We get another counter token onto our stuff. Yeah, sweet. All about this. If I was them, I would definitely would have taken the 2 points of damage. I'm actually going to put it onto the Voracious Hydra, the big one. Because now if they have Heartless Act, they have to remove even more counters. They can choose to remove the Death Touch counter. Boot Nipper. Whenever enters the battlefield... Wait, what? Death Touch counter or lifelink counter. Intriguing. Alright, can't block. That's fine. Just really annoying. It's all good. Alright, down to 15. Alright, we do hit this. Alright, so pay 2. Quartzwood Crasher. I'm going to swing all in. Actually, I guess not all in. I'll swing with this Voracious Hydra. We get in for 2 for sure. If they block, that's fine. In my professional opinion. Alright, Heartless Act. Alright, never mind. Not as fun anymore. No attacks. But we get another one. We do need to find a way to block this. We have a few things with reach. Nightmare Shepherd number 2. Yeah, they have a really fast clock now. I really don't know how we're gonna deal with this. This just makes our other Voracious Hydras cheaper. I mean, weaker. We get out to 7/7, but they get to swing in for so much this next turn. We basically just have to try to hit a gem raise. Oh, man, we're still not fast enough. Want it saying good game. Love the early GGs. We'll swing with Voracious Hydra. It is good game here. We do still have the chance of hitting Embercleave though. Yeah, brings it back. That's fine. Oh, Great Merchant. All right, yeah, that's a good game. Oh, Balderdash. All right, this hand is pretty terrible. a bunch of like all of our extra cards. All right, keep this. This looks good. I think we dropped the Vivian. We're going for the Court Crasher. Vivian is amazing, and unfortunately, it's a one of here. We are gonna play a decks all around Vivian later on. There we go. We got our land. Perfect. Now we can get to Domri. Hopefully that'll help us ramp up into our Quartzwood. Pelt Collector doesn't actually have trample, but we can still do some pretty fun stuff there too. Owl Seed of Life's Bounty. Ooh, the life gain deck is very good against us. Pelt Collector. Pass the turn. Basically, if we can get to our Quartzwood Crasher before they start doing insane things, we have a shot. Hushbringer. That's fine. We don't have any... I guess we do have ETB effects. Pelt Collector is an ETB effect. So, no blocks. Domri.
I look forward to seeing you. I can only punish you.
Just tick up, pass the turn. Alright, Quartzwood Crasher next turn. Man, a mutate changes things up as well. They might just be able to mutate into good things. Can't cast. Oh, this is so good for us. So good for us.
Right on my nugget.
All right, we don't get the ETB trigger, so there's no reason making that happen. We are gonna tick up and play out our Quartz Crasher.
Wait, that might be me.
Yeah, Pelt Collector doesn't work. No attacks, pass the turn. But now we have a 7/6. They can only cast one card each turn. This ram through, so it's whenever creatures deal combat damage to a player. So ram through, unfortunately, doesn't work with Quartzwood Crasher to like create another token. But I mean, it works with it as far as it's gonna be able to kill things. Okay, that's just rude. This doesn't technically have trample yet. They get to do 2 here to Domri. We get to kill 2 things with ram through and all this stuff, which may be worthwhile. We'll go ahead and block here.
I'm starting to get miffed now.
Okay, let's go ahead and just ram through. Let's see here. Play Pelt Collector. We'll just take down. They're not going to have anything with haste, so kill the Hushbringer.
My wild beast.
Pass the turn. We get to hold on to ram through to actually get damage later on. They only get to cast 1 thing each turn. We're going to be casting bigger things, hopefully. I feel like Rule of Law is a very interesting card there. I'm intrigued to see how good it is. Alright, so big creatures. Come on. Come on, deck. We can play the long game against this deck, but only if we actually draw action. Pick up Domri, pass the turn. Alright, so what's our odds of hitting a non-land card that's not an instant sorcery? We have 61% to hit non-land cards, so that's good. We just hit one though, so we'll see how that works. Elspeth Conquers Death. Okay, see what it hits. So have it target there. All right, now we're going to target creature we control, hit the wall. Down to 20, while we still have 7 power instead of 6. Might as well do it then. Crotch Wrangler. Kronk? Yeah, whatever, it's weird. All right, swinging with Pelt Collector. Pass the turn. We get to start creating 2/2s every turn. They get to bring back a Hushbringer. Or next turn they bring a Hushbringer back. This is 4 mana. Ah. Nice. All right, all the pacifisms in the world. We do have Gem Razor, so if we can run into our Gem Razor, we get to turn on Pelt Collector, sack a pacifism, and swing in for a bunch and a half. So I mean, that's the dream draw here. What are our odds to hit Gem Razor? 8%. All right, 8%. Cross the fingers. We can make this work. Oh, man. The other one is like maybe... All right, resolve. Voracious Hydra. All right, well, we get to get a big Hydra at least. Pal Collector keeps growing. It may end up being relevant at some point. I don't know. I don't think they're going to run into their 4th copy of Pacifism. I'll see the last bounty. Cool. Choo. Attack in with the Hydra. First and foremostly, that's the best thing. So this is basically just like white lock, I think. This is like a mono white prison. We get a hidden for 6. We get a 6/6. What's the chances that they are playing board wipe in this deck? I actually think it's a little bit higher now that I'm seeing the I'll see the Lice Bounty. We already played. We haven't played a spell yet this turn. We have lethal. Let's just pass the turn. We could even Castle Garenbrig to make this even bigger. Citywide Bust. All right. So yeah, they had the board wipe. Our biggest thing, whatever, doesn't really matter. We get to keep the Kron Strangler. Citywide Bust, yeah. This is definitely the okay, Gem Razor wins us the game. Still no Gem Razor. All right, so Castle Garenbrig, 6, 7 mana, so X 5. We get to have a 10/11 on the board. I mean, we're playing big things, and hopefully that's enough. Mono White Prison, did not expect to see that. All right, there we go. Good game. Whew. I'm gonna play out the Courts of Crasher and then swing in just for the fun. Good game. Oh goodness. All right. Well, I did not expect to run into Mono White Prison along the way, but that was actually pretty sweet. I like their deck. Up against Shuma Gorath, and we don't have the double mana for Gem Razor, but we can just play it out fairly for 1 green mana, and that might even be better with the Pelt Collector. So we're gonna go ahead and keep this. Fabled Passage, sweet. All right, now we're just set up. We're totally set and stuff. Pelt Collector, pass the turn. Hopefully it doesn't get shafted. It's gonna. It's a gonna. Not. What else is instant speed in for 1 mana in red? I don't even know. This could still be like a combo deck of some sort. Or maybe they're just waiting to Bone Crush so they can get the value. Alright, grabbing green mana. So against mono red, we want Gross Spellbreaker to get a counter onto it. Ooh. Maybe to gain flying. Here's the question is, I actually want to go wide against this deck rather than mutate, but being able to give this protection is nice. And being able to actually swing in. So I guess this one we want to mutate, but the Gem Razors, I don't really care for it right now. Put it over. So now it's a 5/5, and it can come back with this. All right, so all attack. We're a little bit more. We have more damage on the board at the moment. Having that back as a blocker might have been better though. We're going mid-range against the aggro, and that's typically what you want to do. We just have to hope they don't hit Embercleave. Rimrock Knight, all right. right, so they are winning the race at the moment, although they shocked themselves for that. So, I mean, not really. Light up the stage, okay. Runaway Steamkin. Voracious Hydra. Alright. That definitely changes things. Alright. Oh, this is so good. Alright, we get to kill Runaway Steamkin. We have a good blocker for Bone Crusher Giant, so they probably won't swing in. If they do or don't, otherwise, we still get a 7/7 for next turn to swing in with. And with the flyer, that should give us lethal. Swings in for 4. 5 mana, they can Ember Cleave for all of their mana. I want to say no blocks. They get to do a bunch of damage, but then they get nothing for the next turn, and we know that we have lethal. And we have lethal on board anyway. And for the Rubbins, we get to kill the Ember Cleave. Over. Yep. Kill the Ember Cleave and swing in for a bunch and a half. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm very awkward and stuff, but this is just so fun. Up against Batata. Alright, we're keeping this. This is a sweet hand. Temple of Abandon. Scry into... Alright, it is the combo piece. I'm going to keep it. We ought to be looking for land here, but we have Domri to ramp up. So honestly, we could technically play it on the turn after the Domri. So there is still a chance here. I'm actually going to go for... I guess it's better to get more big things out in the battlefield first, though. Oh, they're going to have board wipes. Okay, do we go for the Gruul Spellbreaker, or do I go for Domri? They might have counter spells as well. So let's actually go for Domri here. Domri and
It's a beautiful day for chaos.
swing in first. Do I play the Stoneclaw Serpent?
The only authority that I recognize is chaos.
I could get it down for 1, and if we have like a Gem Razor, it becomes a 4/4. But I'm not sure if it counts as entering the battlefield. I don't think it does. But that is a lot of damage for next turn. I'm just worried about board wipes. You know what? Actually, because of Domri, we get the... It's a 2/1. So, yeah, we're going to play it out. Pass the turn. More damage on the battlefield. If we get to the Quartz Crusher for next turn, then sweet. Ram through also pretty good. The only issue is they're not going to be playing creatures. So like ram through a little bit dead here, where like you could, if it targeted planeswalkers as well, that'd be sweet. Okay, black mana as well. It's a Fairy Time Rattler. Can't bounce the Serpent. Can't bounce this. So bouncing the Ringler.
Here we go.
All right. All right. All right. All right. Only to players. All right. Well, this works out fairly well still. Okay, so
They can only
pick up.
punish you if they catch you.
With haste. You swing there. You swing there. Board wipe will be annoying, but we have a lot of creatures to play out after the fact. They're down to 11. Past the turn. We have can't be countered stuff. All right, gains life. Okay, give me mana. Give me mana. Or give me Godzilla. Give me mana or give me death.
The only authority that I recognize.
All right.
is
Well,
chaos.
crotch wrangler. Crunch. I have a hard time saying that word. Crunch. I think that's right. Crunch wrangler. But it is. It sounds better to say crotch, but that doesn't sound better. So, whatever. Birth of Molitus. Potentially another Kaya's Wrath coming here. Othokai, I mean. Thought Erasure. All right. Do you take the Godzilla or do you take the the Crasher? I think the Crasher is better. That's my opinion. Godzilla is definitely more fun. These ram throughs are terrible at the moment. The fact that we've drawn 2 of them is would be good against any creature deck, but against this, Okay, Temple of Deceit. Wait, they give us the Quartzwood? Oh, I mean, if they have the board wipe, we are more incentivized to swing in with it here. So, I mean,
you can see your face while I'm beating you.
maybe this is just meaning they have the board wipe. We're gonna do it. We came to play fun things. We're doing fun things. Hit for 6, create a 6/6. Pass the turn, and the cool thing here is if they don't have board wipe this turn, our ram throughs actually give us an instant speed damage dealer. We can do it twice for lethal. Okay, there's Dream Child. All right, so we have lethal. We have the lethals. So first off, we tap down the Dream Trawler. Yeah, give it hexproof, but now you can't gain life. Ram through. We're gonna win the fun way. Ram through, and now we get to swing in for a bunch and a half. All right, come on. We would have had 14, 16, 21 points of damage to swing in with there. We would have created a 21-21 creature. The only issue, like that's the issue with that card is I feel like it's better in like Commander where people have bigger life totals, because if you're playing just one-on-one, you get to create a massive creature, but typically you're like killing the opponent whenever you get to make a massive creature. So it is fun, and I mean we took down Esper Control, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, let's go one more game. All right, going first, because we're on the play, this is looking a lot better. The Stonekiller Serpent, being able to put the flyer onto it is really nice as well. Keep it on, I think we just want to get to 4th mana. That is really good card. Having removal would be very nice. But pass the turn. I'm just not sure if I want to put it on 1 here or not. With 2 mutate creatures. All right, we're putting it on 1. Yeah, okay. Because now we can mutate for 3. We get to go big against an aggro deck. We'll pass the turn. We'll see if this is the Cavalcade version. No, it's not. No blocks. Pass the turn. Let's go ahead and just Spellbreaker. And kill Scorchbitter. Spellbreaker with a counter. Swing in. Pass the turn. Stomp and Shock. All right. And they get to steal a card here. Oh, come on. Where's our lands? I think we just go Gruul Spellbreaker again. I'd rather go a little wide here. That's the one issue I've been seeing with the mutate ability is we don't actually get the protection because it's all monocolored right now, which is really annoying. Swings in. Hopefully they don't have shock. All right, just land. I'm going to kill the Robber of the Rich. Down to 6. It's really not good. Do they have another shock? Skewer the Critics. I would have sent that face personally. I mean, they're definitely not in a bad shape here. All right, Hydra for 2. Fight a fervent champion. No attacks this time. Pass the turn. Robber again. Good stuff, good stuff. Oh, they get a 1/1. Okay, block like that. We want to kill Scorch Spitter because it does 2 points of damage a turn, where Fervent Champion only does 1 at the moment. Crotch Wrangler, yeah. Crotch. You keep saying it wrong. Hold up a way to kill Embercleave. I'm not sure if we win against an Embercleave no matter what, really. So we could mutate onto this and make it massive, but I think we just need to go wide. So let's just play out the... flyer. Hold on to the way to mutate. No attacks past the turn. Land. All right, we get the land. We get to... I could Crotch Wrangler, Gem Razor, and then Quartzwood. I think we just want the 6/6 blocker in case they do hit Embercleave. No attacks. I guess now we might be able to survive it. I guess not. Oh, Torbrand. Yay for Torbrand. They still can't swing in very well here. Alright, Crotch Wrangler. I can't say it normally. I think we actually just want a Gem Razor, get this a little bit bigger. Maybe start swinging in with the Destroya. I was trying to mutate. I could give this Trample and create another 4/4 for us. Enters the battlefield. Alright, we're just going to play it this way. We're going defensive still. No attacks past the turn. I was tempted to swing in with Quartzwood there. Robber of the Rich. We're still winning the trade-off. Unless they have the Embercleave. Runaway Stinkin. Okay. Ooh, another one. Having another one is actually pretty sweet. Oh, man. If any damage gets through, it's great for us. I'm actually going to go ahead and swing in with one because this creates 2 trampling creatures now. And 2 more blockers I think is worthwhile. But I think it's only going to get in for like 1 point of damage if it does hit in. They block with Bonecrusher Giant. It gets in for 3. How else would they block? I think killing any more creatures is worthwhile for us. So we get to create 2 3/3s this way if they block. If they don't, we get to create 2 6/6s. All right, we get to create 2 6/6s. Okay. We get to make this guy big. Yeah, okay, that was the best thing that could have happened. Oh man, Quartzwood Crasher. I mean, I don't think this is like competitive, but it is really fun. All right, yeah, we're just gonna block like crazy. They don't have any trample, so we can block pretty favorably. We don't care about the non-trampler. Okay, yeah, but it skips up. Oh, dude, creating 2 6/6s was sweet. All right, so Trample Tribal, we had 1 loss and 4 wins in a row there, and that was in ranked, mythic rank. And so I'm actually kind of impressed with that deck. Maybe I'm putting it at a lower power level than it should be. I think the main thing is that it needs to be tweaked. I think it's good, I think it's fun, but it definitely needs to be tweaked. Oh, the Spitfire would be, by the way, I've been thinking Spitfire would be a fun card to mutate onto, by the way. Just fun little side note there. But yeah, so what would you change with this deck? First off, I think Domri works really well. I think the kind of aggro plan is nice. I think with Gem Razor, this is probably how I would play this. I would play a typical Gruul aggro deck that just happens to run like 3 copies of Quartzwood Crasher at the 5-drop slot, and maybe like 2 Vivians, like a Gruul aggro mid-range style of deck that can play some big things. I think you'd go down the Godzilla. It is really fun. It's janky. It's really fun. It would be sweet with Embercleave, but I think you go down the Godzilla. I do like the Phoenix here actually, with like Stonecoil Serpents or Voracious Hydras. All of a sudden, these guys that just get counters onto them become very powerful and could, like, you have a hasty 6/6. Potentially flying in the air with a lot of, you know, if we have Quartzwood Crasher out as well, it's insane. If you have Domri out, it's a bunch of damage. So I do think that 2 copies is right here for the Everquill Phoenix. I'm just not sure how to run the bottom side of this. I think you want to change up a little bit here. I think you want to go down the 2 Godzillas and make it a little bit more competitive in the early game. So that's my ideas. I think that overall this deck is super fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.